Last time on Road to the Championship, Cal Herbert.
Taking you back to the Miller McCoy where cross country and track started for me. This grassy area right here is where the trailers were, where the school used to be. And over here is the new building. It's now called Livingston. And growing up in New Orleans, it's different when you move to another state, but I'm gonna start at New Orleans. I grew up living with my grandmother and my grandfather. My mom and my dad wasn't really in my life. My dad actually got killed in 2003. I had just turned 6 years old. Later on in life, I found out that he was using and selling drugs and stuff like that. And my mom was really using drugs and stuff too, so that's the reason why my older brother and my little sister, while we grew up with our grandmother, because she was our caretaker. She took real care of us, made sure school was important, you know, not really like getting in trouble and stuff like that. And after that, in 2003, when my dad passed, Katrina happened right after that. And it just was real hard back to back. And we actually didn't evacuate for Katrina. We were in the Superdome, going through the water, actually on the bridge. And that was a sad thing to see. Then after Katrina, we went to Atlanta, Georgia, where I stayed for 3 years. And in Atlanta, school was different. I was actually behind a lot, trying to get my grades back up because the school system was just so different. And then after we stayed in Atlanta for about 3 years, we came back to New Orleans, where I started at Miller McCoy Academy in the 6th grade. And 6th grade come 7th grade, real easy. I'm starting back to connect with my family back in New Orleans, and then I get to be about 11 years old, and my brother really was a big influence on my life, and he actually got into it with the system, and he actually went away for 7.5 years. And you know, I really had to figure myself out at that point because I had lost my dad, and my brother, who was 7 years older than me, who I really looked up to. When he went away for that period of time, it was just like, wow, like the person that I want to be like, he's no longer here. I'm not seeing him every day, and he really like didn't have an influence on me. So I knew that I had to do the right thing and not let my grandmother down and my little sister right behind me. So I just tried to stay on a straight path, keep school first, and then when I started running cross country, that kept me motivated to look forward to something, to not really think about the bad things that happened in my life. And Coach Cass helped out a lot. Coach Damon, my summer track coach, helped out a lot. Coach Guyton, my other track coach at Miller McCoy, and Coach Bobby at Dillon University. They didn't know at the time what they were doing, which was showing me how to be a man. They didn't know that that was really a big influence on my life because I had not grown up in a household with my father and my brother, and that just really like made me want to become much more of a man and really do something positive. Let me take you to the house. This is where I grew up at, y'all. Welcome to my room. This right here is the 6th grade me. Right here. This right here is Harry Cass, my coach. that I started off with, my cross country coach. This is one of the district championships right here. That's me in there too. You can see I graduated salutatorian, student athlete, all these AB honor rolls, A honor rolls. I was real good at math too in high school. Athletic awards, student of the week awards, excellence in social studies, pre-algebra. Right here I have a lot of my old medals from cross country meets. On this side too, a whole lot of medals, you know. I picked out these 3 trophies right here because these trophies actually mean a lot to me. This one right here says most valuable runner in 2009 and 2010. This is another one that says most valuable runner in 2011. I like this one right here because this one says Miller McCord 2014 Leadership Award. And when Coach Cass gave me that, that really meant a lot to me. That he saw that where I came from and where I'm at now, and he thought I was a leader on the team. I really appreciate that one. These are some other trophies. This is one of the district championship trophies right here, and that's pretty much my mom.
I've been in Kyle life since birth. Got him out of the hospital. Born premature, 1 pound. Wasn't a good diagnosis from the doctor that he was going to grow up to be a normal kid. As a matter of fact, they said the way he came into the world, he had drugs in his system, heroin, cocaine, and marijuana. And it was not a good outcome from the doctor that he was going to ever be able to be what you would call normal, a normal kid. His brain was not to function properly. We was lucky that he was not born blind. Deaf. He had a picture before Katrina actually of him in the incubator with all the tubes and stuff in him. We lost that in Katrina, but he had it hanging up in his room for, I guess, a reason. I guess that was something that would encourage him to do more and better as he grew up, knowing how he entered into this world. So when I look at his accomplishments from a kid, he was very controversial from a child. He was competitive. Him and his sister, who is 1 year younger than he is, they were quite competitive as children. They would run home with their report cards to show me who had the A's, because I paid for A's, $1. So running home with the report card meant that if I had 5 A's or 6 A's, that was $5 or $6. He started running track, I think, about 7th grade, AAU, and that seemed to help him accomplish, I guess, whatever the mindset was at that point. Stay focused and just keep going forward, not thinking about all the other stuff growing up without a mother, without a father, you know, his older brother, the environment growing up in the environment with kids, some kids doing good, some kids not so good, but always having some contact with positive people. There was always cousins, aunts, uncles, teachers, neighbors, always encouraging him to do better, especially the people that see him run around the block all the time as a kid. You know, a neighbor, 100, she's going to be 103, she just said the other day, when does he graduate from college? Because she knows he's in college. So you got to make sure Miss Armatine gets an invitation. I don't know where you get all these invitations from, but an invitation. AAU was really good too. It allowed him to travel. It allowed him to have a lot of responsibility with the track team, the coach going out of town. Who was Coach Damon? Yeah.
He the one that actually got me into Dillard. He spoke with Coach D, and the next day I was getting an invite, and then I eventually committed to Dillard through Coach Damon.
And then
Yeah.
another thing I think was really good for him was Miller McCoy. When we came back from Georgia after Katrina, Miller McCoy was the first all-boys school.
Urban.
Yeah, urban.
Yes.
It was chartered, and so the parents didn't have to pay for their kids to go there. Our tax-paying dollars paid for that. A lot of good people in that school. Dr. Hodrick, Mr. Saunders. What was the teacher, the lady who you was real connected to? She was dark with short hair.
Miss Martine.
Miss Martine, even Coach Cass, Harry Cass, a lot of good people at that school. Especially, I love Dr. Hodrick and Mr. Saunders. I can't thank them enough for what they did for a lot of those young boys at Miller McCoy. Just was devastated when the school was closed. It was an all-male school.
Mostly black.
Mostly black.
Suit and tie every day.
Yeah.
Brown belt, brown shoes.
Yeah.
They really taught us that you dress for who you really want to become. And the blazer and the tie and the short haircuts. Like the Ivy League haircuts, that really taught us to be like businessmen, be successful.
And I remember when they came and interviewed Kyle for that school. They came to the house, they interviewed the whole family. But the most rewarding thing was the blazer ceremony. You had to earn the right to wear the blazer when Dr. Hodrick was running that school. And to see those young men earn the right to wear a blazer. And she made sure that they understood that they was representing her.
Everybody used to come past the bus stop and be like, where that school? Like, where y'all go to school? Y'all look so nice.
And it looked like it changed the whole mindset of the children, especially the young guys, to see them proudly wearing the blazer and the tie and representing their school. It just did something to me that I could never explain. Every school should have that. I think another thing that was good, instead of PE, they had karate. And karate comes with a lot of discipline. And Kyle never wanted to disappoint Sensei Horn. He never. I mean, if he got in trouble or he didn't do his homework right or he did something that Sensei Horn would send me a report, I had to fill out a paper that he was doing everything he was supposed to do. He couldn't compete because he only has one kidney. And so they never wanted him to play sports. That was another thing, since he was born with one kidney. And so to see the discipline that these young guys had, every school should have that, karate for boys. Why we don't have swim teams, built-in swimming pools in our schools? Why are we still under educating our children? Why are we closing down schools? I never understood that. Why? We should be building schools, not closing them down. And so why don't we have schools that just have attention with all girls schools and all boys schools? And why do we have schools that are, what do you call that? For only academic kids. Why aren't all our schools reaching high academic levels? Why do we have schools that just teach the kids who are, excelling well? All of our kids should be excelling well. And so I'm proud of all of my grandchildren. I'm proud of Kyle because of his forwardness and he's focused on what he wants to do and where he wants to go.
Next time on Road to the Championship, Kyle Herbert.
The season is coming up on conference, so we paying attention to the little details, making sure we getting everything right, making sure our body feel good, staying healthy. So when it's time to perform, we can do that.
I don't know here.
Camera time.
He say camera time. That boy conceited.
You pay attention when I tell